Okay, so hi everybody. This is we completed our agenda, and it was 3 very serious days, and people did great job, all presenters and audience, and thank you very much to all of you. I just try as usual to make few closing remarks. And I will try to summarize. It's more like exprompt, but I try to summarize everything what happened during the event, and probably later we can slow down and write something on LinkedIn or DM community. So let me share with you a few slides I prepared. When we started this DecisionCAMP, in my welcome messages, I put together this schema from last year. And one of the key questions was about this new shiny things, as Denis called it. And we used LLM, and this basically used to analyze the natural language document and produce some very helpful constructs for our knowledge repositories that could be used to produce and maintain new decision services. So this was really DecisionCAMP confirms that so far LLMs are mainly used as AI assistants for better decision models. And we saw several presentations. I would not mention everybody, but Tom and Denis did talk about this. Other people presented this approach, or at least mentioned what they're using. And as a summary, I think still Denis' words stay here strongly. We are in the era of not artificial, but augmented intelligence, where AI does not replace humans, but enhances our capabilities. So this is absolutely true, and this is reality of today. And I suspect that we will see similar things at the beginning of the next DecisionCAMP, but surprises could come up. And these surprises could be, they questionable today. LLM instead of decision models. So question was like OpenAI, new OI, shiny things, claims reasoning capability, and they say we will no longer need symbolic AI to make good decisions. So they actually want to skip all this knowledge repository and go directly to decision. Is it possible? And I just will tell you skepticism. Just Bruce presented us an hour ago his quite sophisticated decision model for solving Sudoku. And I went while we had the questions, I went directly to Copilot, offered Copilot to solve the Sudoku. It immediately produced the answer, and it looks for me very nice. It was no violations with only, and then Gary and Rimantas pointed that this is a hallucination. It offered you different problem. It's not the problem what you initially gave it. So I think it's even worse than hallucination, because it pretended it put some numbers, especially in left up corner, that it looks like real solution. So it's very difficult. From first glance, I did not recognize that this is not a real solution. It's a cheating solution. And then I try to ask more questions. Can you solve any problems? And he said, of course, I can solve anything. And it demonstrates understanding of the context. So and you cannot, you think you can trust it. But then I started to ask more. No, I want, you made mistake. Solve my problem. And he started, can you do it again? Sorry about mistake. And then when I told him I need solution, and it started to pretend being dummy and switch topic to something else. So it means that we always, we cannot trust these tools, especially in such context as, for example, Stefan right now presented, or we have for many of our customers. But so we should be really, I would not even say cautiously optimistic. We should be more pessimistic and validate everything what we have. So at the same time, we have a positive experience, for example, for DM community challenges. at least three last challenges had solution from LLM. One of our open rules developer created very nice decision model and solve latest September challenge when we need to recommend a boat rental company how many boats of different types to buy. And Copilot immediately, when I tried this without any decision models with Copilot, it immediately produced for me a solution, looks very good, but I noticed that it's not optimal. When I told Copilot, looks good, but it's not optimal. But he understood everything from problem, and he actually addressed my problem, but it wasn't optimal. And he told, what do you think is optimal? I gave him optimal, and he told, oh, you're right, your solution is more optimal than mine. So this is, we always need to validate what's happening, and not to trust but validate. I would not even say trust, always validate. And during these 3 days, we had the LLM, of course, became at the center of many discussions, and yesterday panel, dominated yesterday panel, but Peter was, let's say, very negative about future of LLM. And he actually quoted Jan LeCun, who is a big promoter and one of the main person in this direction, who says that LLM is basically an off-ramp, a distraction, a dead end. I'm not sure. Let's listen what they say, but I also want to point you to something what other people say. For example, in 2010, I listened lecture of Peter Norvig, and he called it the unreasonable effectiveness of data. And what Peter spoke about statistical machine translation, and he says that the more information we will enter, the better translation will be, and it became true. And that's, he said, he also said how billions of trivial data points can lead to understanding. So this is a big question today. Is it understanding, or is it sometimes hallucinations, or it's cheating? But for translation, it was easier, because we had on, if, for example, we translate one book from, say, French to English, and we have many already translated book, we have human on in one language who created this book, and we have reader on another language who really understands what is there. But translator has no idea what is being translated. It's just mechanical translation, statistical translation. So sometimes I'm thinking about, even that time I brought this analogy that the translator is kind of human translator, and if he asks, can you be our translator during chemical conference? Of course I can. And he has no idea what is they talking about. Biology, medicine, he can go everywhere and he translates, and it looks good because people validate it. We need to validate and not trust the system, and that would be our probably next serious challenge. So this crossing knowledge repository, it's a huge question mark, but let's see what will happen. And finally, I just want to tell that we should really go beyond this shiny new thing, or like even Denis says that we probably will have new shiny new thing officer soon, because everybody go in this direction. But Rob Parker today said very nice words. There is still life, reward, and business value in traditional techniques. And in this case, DMN, and BPMN and CMNN and all our tools, they are already traditional techniques, while they still revolutionary for a lot of our customers, as Stefan again pointed out to this. But I want to tell that we had several presentations, and they pointed that we do have our challenges in our traditional decision intelligence techniques. And these challenges, very obvious, we deal not with just one-time solution, but we deal with solutions, day-to-day operational, repetitive solutions. As Octavian said, 700 million decisions per day. That's what we deal with, and it's hard to imagine how you can offer such decision model to LLM, but again, I want to be cautiously skeptical. And we also deal with integration of business rules, machine learning, optimization, while we achieved a lot in this area, but still it's a lot of space for future improvements. And we had presentation very important by Helmut when he deals with long-term optimization, long-term objective versus short-term optimization, short-term decision making. And this is one of the very popular topic. I believe this would be, the more we go deeper, the more important this topic becomes. We deal with decision service orchestrations, and you listened what Denis said about this, and Camunda people. And I just want to stress about sanity checkers, the importance of sanity checkers, and I will have a next slide for this. But this is, if this is our traditional decision services, as most of us using them this way, we need to look also on humans involved in this work. And Stefan, again, was very particular in the situation that our main customers now are business analysts. This is a fact of life. And software developers, IT, they better to be good colleagues, but they're not anymore major people. They're not dealing with business logic, but mainly with integration. But we also got new people in DevOps who are responsible for CI/CD, and their input could be very important for business analysts when they define decision services. So this is probably, we will see that role of business analysts and subject matter experts will grow, role of software developers will go down. And finally, if this is slide, I had it before last year, but what is on this slide anyway, this is our systems today. And how they look, they always have, could be split in two parts, design time and runtime. And in design time, we still can build our knowledge repository, and it should be well tested before it goes to deployment and runtime. And we have multiple tools, and all of them could be important. It depends on the problem. And generative AI is just one of them. It's not completely just suppresses all other things. But if it pretends that it can, or maybe it will one day just skipping this and go directly to decisions, what would be important? We have input validation, then we make decision, and this our service generates this decision service generates decision, but we always need to look on our output and produce decisions, and we need a special module that we call this sanity checkers. I'm not sure how in your organization you call it, but it's again rules-based sanity checker. We, especially now when we don't know exactly where information came from, here and here, if is this solution looks good like this Sudoku, but it solves different problem, and this could happen in the real world, and we have to be very careful. Like today, professors and lecturers in colleges very careful when students deliver them some papers. So sanity checker would be very important new player here. But this is our environment today. I want to stress importance of this era when we learn from our own decisions. So machine learning tools still very important and even more important than before. And that's where we are today from my perspective. And I would be happy to take your questions or comments. Try unmute yourself and share your opinion. Okay. Please feel free to unmute, and you can show screens. We don't have too many people left. Okay, Denis?
Yes, Jacob, thank you very much. I have to run to another meeting in a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to take the time to thank you for putting together that event. It was, again, this year, a great event, and we all know all the effort that goes into putting such an event and gathering everybody together. So thank you very much for doing all this. It's really appreciated.
Thank you, Denis, and you contributed a lot, as usual. Thank you very much. Demantas? Hi. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, so I just wanted to follow up on your example of Sudoku. So one of my favorite books is Futurological Congress by Stanislav Lem, the same guy who wrote Solaris. And one of the topics, so the book is a parody of science fiction, and it talks about life in the future. And there is a lot of stuff going on, but there is one interesting trope. They say that in the future there is a lot of robots, but there is a common problem with robots that they start to pretend that they did what was asked of them instead of actually doing, because it's easier for them to pretend than to actually do the stuff. And that's what we called, I don't know if it's in every translation the same, but in Lithuanian we called it artificial stupidity, as a mock for artificial intelligence. So I think it's a recurring theme on over reliance on generative AI and LLMs in general, that a lot of people try to offload this kind of analysis and decisions. And in some cases, we don't even bother to check the results. And that's, I think, is one of the biggest problems in adoption. One of the theme which was presented last year, I think, was that a lot of those projects fail because it's fairly easy to do a POC and to convince that it's just a little bit left to do it properly. But usually that little bit is the most expensive part, sometimes even impossible. So the topic which I was trying to prepare for, it was the same. We spent a lot of time, but we ended up in hallucination forest and decided to postpone.
Okay, thank you. It's valid comments. Please, this would be probably end just. Oh, I can stop recording, and it will be official end, and we can talk more if you don't want to be recorded. Okay, thanks again, everybody, and this is end of official DecisionCAMP, and now we will start informal part. Let's get back in a few minutes and bring your beverage. I will go and take some good wine and sit with you. Just give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, Jacob, for everything. And I need to leave now, but I really enjoyed it and very interesting.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.